Cameras on, microphone on, sexy voice activated like what it do. This is the Michael vs. Marvelous YouTube and the Michael vs. Marvelous podcast. Sorry I stuttered a little bit. But in tonight's episode, but hold up, before we get into tonight's episode, if you guys can do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, follow me on all platforms that's out. Michael vs. Marvelous is on everything. In this episode is a special one because a lot of people was like, yo Marv, yo Mike, you need to check out BlackAf. And I was like, because now with quarantine, I got a lot of time on my hands to just watch stuff. So, see it, the Marvelous one. So I had a lot of time on my hands. So I was like, let me check this out. And when I tell you that it was a good show, but I'm going to talk about some things I liked about it and some things I didn't. Then, like, you already know what it is, Mr. Red Cup, what's in it? Oh yeah, brother, flex on him. But in this one, I'm gonna talk about, like, I have mixed emotions on it. So like I said, this is definitely, it could be possible episode 141. My BlackAf review, because I'm a big fan of Blackish mixes, grownish. Love Kenya Burrs. He is one of my idols when it comes as far as being a black creator, black writer, someone I looks up to. Ava, Issa Rae, Will Packer, Tyler Perry, Lena, just to name a few. So I knew I was gonna be having mixed emotions on this because I feel like Kenya Burrs see things one way, and that's the black man with the mixed wife and the mixed kids, and all of his shows are pretty much like that. So I'm like, okay, this is how he view it. But he's an idol of mine, so I look up to him. So I like some of the stuff he do. But as I talk about it, so I'm gonna go over the character. So it's Kenya Burrs. It's Joya, which is his wife, a lawyer, super funny, played by Rashida. Pops is his son, the sensitive one. Drea is his second oldest daughter, and C is BlackAf. And C's kind of like, I'm not gonna really tell it for the people that want to know it, but she's a main character, and I like her. She's my favorite. Then there's Chloe, the clout chaser. She's the oldest, so she's a clout chaser. She's in college. Then there's Cam, who is a liar / keep it real / he's my second favorite. I like Cam. Then there's Brooklyn, which is a little baby. And then it's Izzy, which is she's the scary one. She's like the daughter off of Blackish, but just on that show. So you get her, and she's she's funny. Then you got Danny, which is his Kenya's assistant. Then you got Broadway, who works with him. He's funny as F. Then we got the gorgeous Nia Long. Oh my God, woo, sweet baby. You know what? Then, like I said, so she plays, and she calls herself Levette. Like I will say, like when I say I had mixed emotions, it's because when you first see the first trailer, it got the win, and you see all these African Americans, all these prestigious black folks, and I'm like, okay, this is about to be real. And I really wasn't getting the realness of from a black. I mean, because for one, it should have been called Rich People Problem, because he's rich, and he got all this money, and he flashing, like, by all means, he is fly. They all fly. You see a lot of Fendi, you see a lot of Billion, you see all the Gucci, you see some Louis Vuitton, you see all the best, all the nice kicks, everything. You see that in this realm, but in this show, I'm sorry, but what I'm not even ranting. I'm like, because this is my honest review on it, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna give my view, and at the end of this podcast, however I orchestrate it. At the end of the day, it's how I do it. But the things that I loved about it is that it was funny. It was funny, and it was like some of the stuff that it would catch, because I have a weird sense of humor. Like a lot of stuff that most people don't think is funny, I think is funny. But it was also some parts that was kind of cringe worthy and had me like, oh, like that really wasn't that funny. Like, oh, I really didn't like that. Like, oh, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Or I didn't laugh. And it was just like I said, it was just like this black man who cares about being accepted. So if he wears a chain, is they gonna think I'm a football player and all this and that? But then you still wear the chains and you pull up with this nice car and you're like, oh, is white people gonna think I'm a drug dealer or think this? But bro, you still pulling up with it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if anything, my what I don't like, it was just the entitlement. Like, in black households, you don't really cuss at your parents. You don't really cuss at them. You don't really cuss because you get smack, poof. You getting punched all around. And I can say that. I can say that off the rip. My grandma was never going. Like, I'm a grown man right now, and I have to be like, Grandma, is it okay if I say this cuss word? So it's just the entitlement of just like the rich. But then I'm like, okay, so how is it black AF when all y'all doing is flaunting y'all money and flaunting off your wealth and just being like, oh, I'm just this marvelous person. I'm just this. And like I said, it was times where I really, really liked it. And it was times I was like, okay, this is not blackish. This is not grownish. And this is not mixish. Like, this is completely different. Like, bro, Netflix gave you a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's like, how do I put it? The show lacked depth at times, where I was feeling like, you know, I can be a little bit stiff on the camera because I'm still getting used to the camera, y'all. And that's kind of how what I was getting from Kenya, because you could tell he's just a writer, he's just a producer. So you can see in the beginning of the episodes, he was stiff. You know, he was super stiff. But then as you get to like the end, he starts to open up. And that's how it is with me, where it's like, I can be stiff, but I can start easily just, you know, sorry. I can easily just start picking it up and just start doing that. So it's like I try to like understand that, like, okay, now I see why he's acting the way he's acting and stuff like that. It's because he was trying to get comfortable on the camera. And it's a good show. Like I said, I like it, but it's also some things, like I said, what gave me mixed emotions, and what kept me entertained was the characters. Was the little kids who was funny, was the daughters and stuff like that. Because some of it was like, you touch on certain things, but then it gets to be, like I said earlier, it was cringy. I was like, whoa, this is kind of uncomfortable. This is kind of weird. I didn't think that was funny. Like, oh, we're literally taking it there. Like, bruh, you talking about being a black man, but all you doing is flexing and like, oh, I got this, I'm rich, I'm this, I'm that. And so it was like kind of like confusing me. But I'm not gonna be like a lot of the other YouTubers out here who say it suck. No, I'm not gonna ever go that far, because I'm like, who am I to say that it suck? Like, I actually like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the show, I like what it's about. I literally just had mixed emotions because it was something that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting that it was gonna be like, woo, I'm black and I'm proud. Not with the, oh, I'm black, but I'm entitled and I'm rich and I can buy whatever I want. I can buy an island. I can do whatever I want. I'm trying not to tell it for the people that haven't seen it, but like, if someone was to ask me, yo, Marv, yo, Mike, what would you rank Black AF out of a scale of 1 to 10? I'd give it an 8. And that's because it's funny. I'm a fashion guy. I like to see Kenya Burris and the gear that he got on. I like to see that he had Tyler Perry, Ava, Lena, Will Packer had all these black directors that I look up to, and that has been inspiring me. So that made it fun for me watching the show, and just like some of the jokes. Like I actually tweeted that it's funny as F because I literally laugh. Every episode I'm laughing like 5 to 6 times, but then it's also times, like I said, I was like, okay, this show is kind of like how I am on my podcast, where it's like we supposed to stay here, but then we go here, then we go here, then we go here. So and that's why I said it's mixed emotions, because some people love my podcast, love what I'm doing, but sometimes if I get the ranting and going all over the place, they'd be like, okay, I like what you bringing, but what are you talking like what's your angle? And that's what confused me. So now I can see why when people listen to me and hear me, they can be like, okay, you got great content, but then you start to rant and you gotta stay on topic. And that's what I seen about that show, but it's also what made me like the show too. So it's a double-edged sword, where it's like, okay, Kenya, stay on task so we can understand what's going on, but you taking us all over the place. And and that's one thing about the show. But other than that, I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna rewatch it again. I can't wait to season 2, if they'll have a season 2. I'm not like none of these other YouTubers and just gonna get on here and bash BlackAf, because like I said, it's good. It was just some cringe worthy things, and some things where I was like, the entitlement, where it's like you talking about how you gotta be other than that. Show's dope. Rashida did good playing Joy. Like, to me, that was like my first time seeing her in a movie. I mean, in a show, being black and proud. Like, I'm gonna just keep it 100. Like, I never seen her do anything like this before. It's a good show. I recommend it. I'll stand by it. I like it. It's a good show. I think if you should check it out. I mean, it might not be for everybody, but at the end of the day, it's my review on it. I give it an 8 out of 10. The replay value of watching it is pretty good, because it's super funny. And I mean, like, this is the first time I can honestly say that I can sit and binge watch and get through shows. There's so many shows that I'm gonna do reviews on this and review podcasts and all that, because I'm actually getting to watch these shows, and that feels good, because it's been a while since I was able to sit down and watch a whole show and be able to enjoy it, know what's going on, give my full, like, I literally wrote down how I felt. So it's like I'm looking down the paper, make sure I hit my topics, and I did, because I was taking notes as I was watching each show of what stood out to me. And my favorite episodes, before I end this, I would say the one with Tyler Perry on it, and I will say the second to last one. Those was my favorite ones. I mean, I like them all, but like I said, those was the ones that connected with me the most. And like I said, if y'all can do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell button, so whenever I put out content, you'll be the first to get into it. Make sure you see right there, the Michael versus Marvelous podcast. You enter that on any media, on any podcast platform, is there. Hit that button, follow, tell a friend, tell a family member to come support me. I'm doing a giveaway again. I'm just gonna randomly, like, if you DM me or if you inbox me on any of my social media, if you follow me, I'm just gonna randomly just pick a subscriber and send them some goodies. I already did that before. I'm doing it again, like, cause I got new merch out. So yeah, like I said, I feel marvelous, by the way. I want to thank everybody for the love and the support. Like I said, I'm actually staying on topic for once. I'm proud of myself and not ranting off and going all over the place. So like I said, I do listen. For those people who think that I'm stubborn, the Marvelous One does listen. You know what I'm saying?